you saying, Diz?
Yo, bro, you know what it is? It's so bad at United. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I just want to pretend that the games didn't happen. I want to move on with my weekend. It's all just a bit trash. Like, all right, well, we lost, we drew. All right, cool. Let's move on. Nothing happened. Nothing to see here. You know what it is? And you know, I've been saying that the manager needs to go for a long time, but I think the thing that gets exhausting for me with the people that are staunch Ten Hag fans is not that they believe that he can turn it around. It's the cognitive dissonance in what they're saying. So they're saying Ten Hag wants to be open and expansive. He likes these big gaps in his midfield. That's what we saw at Ajax. And then at the same out the other side of their mouth, they'll also say, "What do you expect him to do with all these injuries?" Well, if you would connect what your two thoughts are, even if we had all our starting players, we would still have these massive gaps in our midfield because this is how he likes to play. It doesn't make any sense to me, bro. But and then like I see it every game, and I don't think it's gonna change. And I don't see how we improve playing the way that we're trying to play because I just don't think that it fits the Premier League, which is why for me it all gets a bit jarring to keep going around in circles about this Ten Hag fella and what's wrong at United and how we're trash and all that stuff. It all gets a bit long for me. So yeah, this game was trash. The last games we played was trash. We have a -2 goal difference. There's 6 games left. There ain't really too much going on.
And it's Coventry. Listen, it could get bad. We play Coventry next and we should win, but I would not be shocked if they knock us out the FA Cup semi-final next week. I would not go, oh my God, I never saw that coming in a million years.
No, not at all. To be honest, I think it's funny because I don't remember. I don't know who said it. Somebody in the group chat was like, "Oh well, at least all we have to pray for is the FA Cup." I'm like, I mean, yeah, we may or may not beat Coventry. Let's not go too far. I say we probably beat Coventry, right? Whoever we come up against after that, it's all looking a bit long. You know what I mean? If it's Chelsea again, then maybe not.
Maybe. I'll get excited for Chelsea.
In fairness, I wouldn't mind the Chelsea final. If I take myself out as a Man United fan, that would be jokes. It would just be two teams with no midfield attacking each other. It would be entertaining. And whoever scores the most goals, I needed to say associate, of course, whoever scores the most goals win. But that's all it's going to be based on is both teams trying to score the most amount of goals, no defending, no real tactics. It's just going to be an all-out like playground football. That's what it'll be.
But then the other side of that coin is if we get Man City and they're on the road to another treble, it'll be back-to-back seasons. We did absolutely nothing to stop them because we're not winning that game.
No, yeah, we definitely can't beat them. And I agree with what you said about the Ten Hag thing. I'm not even trying to like shit on him. I'm just speaking the truth. None of it makes sense. We've also seen the team this year early on in the season with the vast majority of our team fit, and we had the same problems. So I remember what a lot of people say, when we get Manu into the team, because how good he is on the ball, you'll see a difference in us. You don't. We're not well drilled as a team in possession. It's absolutely horrendous. It really is. This year says when you get the right manager first. Yes, that's one of the first steps we need. As a red, doesn't bother me. United are crap. You'll never walk alone. No, I kind of get you. I kind of get where you're coming from. But like I've always said, I'd love to have a few years of title races and go head to head where Liverpool and United are the best two teams in England. It's never been done before. It'd be amazing. It really, really would. Last 5 games, United have allowed 23, 31, 28, 28, and 20 shots. That's 130 shots. Ten Hag should be sacked for that alone. I think we're nearly 100 above the most we've ever conceded in a season, and there's still 6-7 games to go.
Lord have mercy.
We're probably going to hit somewhere close to 700 to 750 goals, shots conceded. I think the most up until this season for a whole season was like 530. You're talking potentially 200 more shots being conceded in a season. It's absolutely horrendous. Imagine Ten Hag managing Bournemouth be relegated. Again, it's just crazy to watch. I really think Coventry could be a problem. They definitely could be. Terry, do you think we should go for Smith Rowe, Gallagher, Tierney? No. I think that's meant to be a joke, but of course not. Unfortunately, wouldn't be surprised if Ten Hag stays. I genuinely would. I genuinely would. I spoke to a lot of journalists who won't publish these stories, which is weird because, of course, they've got to keep on side with the club. But what they're all saying to me when I DM them and I text some of them whose numbers I've got is all they're really hearing is dead man walking. So I think he'll be gone. But Sancho does not train well. Joke Ten Hag out. But again, this is where the pettiness doesn't need to be. Just because Ten Hag's doing a bad job and he's going to go, it doesn't suddenly mean that Sancho's performances should be forgotten about. The same as I'm not forgetting how bad Rashford's been this season. I'm not forgetting about how poor a football player Scott McTominay is, and we need better. Like all these things exist at once. Would I like Sancho to come back and kill it? Yes. But I just think Man United fans have got to get away from this tit-for-tat mentality when it comes to our football club. I really do.
But you know what it is, really quickly, what the previous guy was saying. The problem with what Ten Hag has done is, like I said it at the time, you do these banishments and that kind of thing. It's a high risk, high reward strategy. You can banish somebody, but you have to win the games that follow. You have to set the stall out that we don't tolerate anything other than this level. And if you drop to this level, you're liable to get shipped out of here. And if the whole team stay at this level after you shipped out the poison, then maybe the guy that you shipped out weren't the poison at all.
No, yeah, I mean, it can be that, Dizzy. It could also be that they are, but you still haven't handled it well. And this is the problem. I think with Man United, the word I use to describe us as a fan base, generally speaking, there's so many reductionists that look at it all as, well, Sancho's a bad egg. We get rid of him, we're going to be amazing. Sell Pogba, we're going to be amazing. Sell like the people that think just getting rid of Rashford makes us a better team. That's all we have to change. You're all wrong. It's so much, there's so many more layers to it. It's so much more complicated than people make it out to be. And even though I think Ten Hag's got to go, where I don't sit with the Ten Hag outers, because Ten Hag outers can be as dim sometimes as the Ten Hag inners, where they think just sacking the manager means we're going to be better. There's so many layers to it. It's unbelievable. It really is. Ola here says, I recall Terry gassing Onana would be the third best goalkeeper in the league. Yeah, listen, I did. I did think that. I did think that Haaland would score 15 goals in all competitions this year. And I did think that we would have more points this season than last year. What I didn't legislate, and you didn't challenge me with this either, nobody said, well, this season you're playing with no midfield. Nobody said this season your defensive line is going to drop so deep and your midfield not come back, that there's free shots at the edge of your box that you're giving away. Nobody told me that we were going to stop playing the brand of football that we were last year and go to a completely new style. If I knew all those things before I said that, I wouldn't have said it. So yes, I was wrong.
That comment's ridiculous because Onana's been good. Like at the end of the day, he had a bad. Like I hate to say,
he's been good in the league, not in the Champions League. Though.
Yeah, he's been good in the league. I thrashed him at the start of the year because like he was making mistakes. Obviously, new to the league, he had to deal with the pressure and all that stuff, right? But honestly, if you look at the last 10, 15 games, he's been good. He's kept us in games. That save against Kluivert was ridiculous. Like he's been just fine. It's not a.
And actually, with Højlund, like I thought he was really poor holding the ball up today. I was really disappointed with him. Awful. But another game. What chance did we create for him? Like what? Like, I swear it's been the last 5 games. We have not set him up with a single big chance. He must be the only striker in the league in the last 5 games that his team haven't created him even half a chance, really.
Our wingers don't cross the ball, fam.
So it becomes one of those things. Again, if you said to me that we're just going to go game after game, not creating him chances. I read a stat that Opta put out that out of all the strikers in the Premier League, he's had the least amount of chances created for him in the league. So again, no one would have predicted that at the start of the season. So yeah, look, I hold the L, but it just is what it is. 1610s here. He says the amount of injuries Ten Hag has had to deal with this season. The fact that he's only 20 points off the top is impressive. Give him time. Big up, Sky. Do you know what I'd say? There's an element. I get where you're coming from. The level of performances and how bad we are in and out of possession. If that was good, but we just lacked the quality to finish games off, but we were playing nice football, we were hard to break down, hard to play against, I think all of us sitting on here would have a very different perspective. It's the performances that are bad. D-Town here says, to be fair to Onana, he's had to face more shots than most goalkeepers in the league. Man's fighting for his life. Look, he has been good in the league. Champions League's a different conversation, but he has been good in the league. Sophia's joining us as well. How are you, Sophia?
I'm fine. That you guys are well as well. I mean, what else is there really much to say about this game that we haven't already addressed? I mean, like you, Terry, I think you mentioned a few months back that you were kind of done with Ten Hag after we last played Bournemouth, and I felt the same way when we got slapped up at OT that time. That's several months since then, back in December, and not much has changed. Other than, of course, I don't know, we're just a new board coming in and all that. Hopefully, things can get better next season, but we have to wait and see. There are a couple of players that I definitely feel like I've given up on, and I think I realized, especially with Casemiro, I think time is up right now. I think we gotta cash in. I'm tired.
He looks. I can't believe he stayed on the whole game. I kind of get why like Mainu comes off because he's young and you don't want to overplay a young player. But how Casemiro stayed on, you look as confused as I was.
Literally, very confused. And also with Rashford, I feel like this. I mean, he's not a kid anymore. 27 years old, or about to be 27. Regardless, not a kid no more. And it just feels like he's completely lost the spark that he used to have, which is sad. When he first broke into the scene, what, about over 8 years ago now? I don't know where that guy is anymore. And I think at some point we have to say goodbye. Thank you for your service, but you got to go as well. Whether or not he goes is another conversation for another day. But I think we got to, because I'm also very officially tired with him as well.